Hello everybody, Robert Breaker here. I guess we'll call this video Bonfire with the Breakers. That's a hot fire. Whew. Hello everybody, it's the Breakers, and this is our Breaker Bonfire. And we're here out today on, guess what day? April Fools. But no, it really is April Fools, and we thought we'd come outside, so this will be our bonfire. We have some, what are they, sausages or bratwurst or something? We're going to cook on there once the fire burns down a little bit. But what we thought we'd do is we'd talk to you about the coronavirus. And we did a video where we ate chicken together. We did a video where we did eating fish together. So I guess this will be our bonfire bratwurst video where we're eating together. So this is, girls are doing school. Good job, honey. And it got a little chilly here, thank God. And we've been wanting to do a bonfire for a while, and finally it got chilly enough to where it's supposed to get down to 50 tonight in Florida. That's, for this time of year, that's great. So we've been burning this huge pile, and we're waiting. Once it burns down some, have a little grill there. We're going to grill some food and grill our dinner. So a lot of people have been emailing and asking about the coronavirus, honey. So what should we say about it? What's that? Yeah, you haven't heard? Have you not been watching the news? Well, good. So Florida is closing up tomorrow, April 2nd at midnight, saying you can't leave your house. But, you know, what does that even mean? I just talked to a neighbor. I was like, what does that even mean? You can still go to the store and buy groceries. Like, yeah. So we're going to take this time, and hopefully I'll keep bringing you sermons every week. But we're going to take this time to try to get some much needed little bit of a vacation and spend some time out at the water, swimming. We've already got to swim, once or twice this year. Finally, the water's warmed up. And go kayaking, go snorkeling, go, what's the other thing, Laura? Paddleboarding. I bought a Hawaiian pole spear. And it's,
go fishing?
I'm going to try to see if there's any big fish that I can get close enough to spear. I might have to do a video sailing.
I'll have a backup dinner.
Okay, just in case. A lot of people are saying that they can't leave the house, they can't get out, so they want videos of us getting out and doing stuff. Well, we were able to get out a lot more before, but now, well, if we can get out here, we'll do some videos like that. Other people are saying, well, we want videos of just people praying, and because this is a time where people need to repent, I guess. The world needs to turn back to God because they turned so far away. Somebody sent me something in YouTube. So isn't it interesting that New York is the worst hit? It was just a couple months ago that New York was applauding their law to kill babies after they're born. And so that's the most hit. You know, I wonder if that was the judgment of God. No, just coincidence, right? And some of the worst hits are countries are the most sinful and wicked countries. And it always seems like something like that always happens. When the first George Bush was president, he did some evil, bad thing toward Israel, and that's when that perfect storm came not long after that and destroyed his house up in, was it Maine or wherever he's from, Massachusetts or someplace. So it's just interesting how, you know, you don't mess with Israel, you don't mess with God, and you don't kill innocent babies and not expect the judgment of God to fall on you. And so it's interesting. So the coronavirus is what? What do you think? Well, we've been hearing all sorts of stuff, and it's so hard to know what to think nowadays because we're so blessed to have internet where you get all this information. But there's all these information wars in which they tell you the truth and the other guy tells you the exact opposite. And you look at that and go, no, which one do I believe? Well, fortunately, some people have credibility of being right, and others have a lack of credibility of not being right all the time. So you kind of can get an idea of what's going on. So there's two different sides. Some people think this is a complete hoax, that there's no such thing as a coronavirus. And the other people think, no, this is the judgment of God on the world. So what do I think? I'm kind of in the middle. I think, well, I wanted to tell this story. It's like my pops told me, my grandpa. My grandpa met a guy in the marina that was on the Titanic who got off and survived, and he worked in the boiler room. And people rewrite history, and we've been taught our whole lives, well, the Titanic sunk because of an iceberg, which is ridiculous because the boat was built to withstand any iceberg. It was a 3-hulled ship to withstand icebergs. But then, oh no, I mean, that sounds fishy, almost like a building that's built to withstand multiple airplanes hitting it so it won't fall, and it falls. I mean, doesn't that sound... Well, anyway, so my grandpa was talking to this guy, and he says, no, an iceberg did not sink the Titanic. He said, I was there, and he said the captain was so full of pride knowing he was on the greatest ship that is ever built that the captain said, full speed ahead, we want to get there like a day before, or so far ahead of time that the whole world will go, wow, not only is it the strongest ship, it's the fastest too. And because he said full speed ahead, they were shoveling the coal so fast the boiler exploded. Now, why would they say an iceberg sunk it? Because if it was the captain's fault, they couldn't get the insurance. So it had to be an act of God. It had to have been, Conrad, don't do that. It had to have been an iceberg. But when you talk to an actual witness like my grandpa did, he said, no, I was there. It was the boiler exploded, and that's what sunk the ship. And I always thought of that. Man, isn't that something? People say, oh, God sunk that ship, you know. And even the captain was known for saying that. He's saying, this ship is so strong, not even God could sink this ship. Well, did God sink it, or did God just look down and go, man's so dumb. Watch what man does to itself. And they sunk their own ship because he was full of pride. So what is this COVID? Well, they're finding that it did come from a laboratory, and yet we're still hearing people say, oh, it comes from eating bats. And so you hear either sides, but I think it's a laboratory-made virus, and it escaped, and it's going out. And what is the deal? Why is this? Well, it could have been just a mistake, or it could have been on purpose. Some people are saying that China gave it out on purpose because, was it Hong Kong was fighting for their freedom? See, they built a bridge from mainland China to Hong Kong, and mainland China says, now when we build the bridge, we're not going to come over and take over. Don't worry about that. As soon as they finished the bridge, they came over and began to take over.
Conrad.
So now you don't hear anything about Hong Kong and their fight for freedom and not wanting to be communist. So isn't that interesting? Yeah, let's get these opened up so we can get some food. I know the bugs are bothering us. We're out here talking. I wanted to get your take on some things too, because you're hearing a lot of things. You're hearing now that over 30,000 people died of coronavirus worldwide. Now, Laura and I have both heard this. We've heard people that work in hospitals and everything, and doctors have been just writing down and saying, oh, that guy died of coronavirus, even if he didn't, if it was like a heart attack or if it was something like that. Remember that story, honey? Tell me about it. What'd you heard?
People are dying in car accidents or heart attacks, and they're writing down coronavirus.
So how do we know that's how many people have really died of this? Is this really as bad as they say? Well, some people say no. Other people say, no, it's worse. And so, you see both sides. And you're trying to find, well, what's the truth? I believe in China, they're lying about it. It's worse than it was. Well, so more people got it or whatever. It's hard to know what's really going on, and a lot of people are scared. What do you think about the coronavirus and all that?
I think people all just think for themselves.
Okay. Expound on that, please.
No way. You think for yourself.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell you what to think.
See, a lot of people are being told what to think.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, think for yourself. Think about who prospers from all of this. This is definitely unprecedented that they would close the whole world. And a lot of people have been saying, oh, well, Robert Breaker, you're wrong. You said, what was it, the figure, 7.53 billion people in the world, and you said that the percentage of the dead are 0.000 whatever. And they're saying that I'm wrong. They say it's 4% or 8%. That's the percentage of people that are infected, they say. I gave the population of the world and said, look how many people in the world have this. and what are your percentage of actually catching it? But a lot of people are thinking it's bad. So what I wanted to tell people, and this you can help me with, is zinc is very important. Zinc is good. Liposomal and lysophilic vitamin C, echinacea. What are other things that are good to help your immune system? Because this is a so-called virus that attacks your immune system. Conrad, don't sit on that stump. Thank you. Go sit in your chair, babe. Go, go, go. And so these are good things. So tell me, what's the difference between liposomal and lysophilic vitamin C?
They're both fat-soluble vitamin C, so they're both going to be more absorbed by the body. But liposomal is encapsulated in a way that it is nearly 100% absorbed by the body. So
right.
6 packets of liposomal vitamin C a day is equal to being on intravenous vitamin
Right.
C for the day.
All right, some hospitals are using intravenous vitamin C, but liposomal is, you don't need to put it in your vein. You can take it and then it absorbs almost instantaneously into your body. What's the other thing? The zinc, of course, but what was it? There's something else, wasn't there? What was that?
Quinine?
Quinine. Oh yeah, you know what quinine is? It's in tonic water.
Yeah.
So just buy some tonic water. And quinine.
Yeah, they're just
quinine,
about all out though on
I know.
everywhere.
It's like 2-week delay or something like this. Now, the big deal they're saying now is, oh, the next 2 weeks are the worst to come. Well, 5G is being rolled out everywhere. So what do you think about, well, let me say, and then I want to see what you think about 5G. But I think viruses feed on wireless. Some of the worst viruses that ever came out were shortly after Marconi, which actually he stole it from Tesla, but Marconi invented radio waves.
Well,
and then you have other waves, wireless and things like that.
I don't think you said, it's not that viruses feed on 5G, it's that 5G lowers your immune system.
Okay,
So
but it increases the viruses coming because your immune system's lowered by a wireless.
Okay,
It's frequency.
we'll go with
Somehow the frequency of the wireless affects your body. And 5G will affect it even worse. So maybe that's why we're seeing such an outbreak of this, because of 5G. What do you think?
Could be 5G, all of wireless, people's health in general.
It's the last days, chemtrails, things like that. You know, if you don't know what chemtrails are, look it up. But it's a little bit of everything, and your immune system is key, and that's important that you have a healthy immune system. And that's something that we all need. Let's see, think about some other stuff. I'm going to rake this a little bit while you get those, and we'll cook these real quick. But we definitely don't need to be afraid of the coronavirus. Some people think this is the end of the world, and it could be. I don't know. A rapture could be any day now. Other people are thinking, well, it's just going to get better, and it's going to be better than it was before. Well, wouldn't that be wonderful? And a lot of people think that, you know, you're stocking up on stuff now and buying stuff. Well, you know, in about 6 months, it's going to be super cheap.
Away from the fire, Conrad.
Yeah, get away, buddy. It'll be super cheap at garage sales because people overbought and things like that. But we really don't know. So it's always good to have some extra food and to be prepared. And this is a great time also to witness to people as well. So make sure you don't forget, even though you can't really get out of the house in some cases, there's a thing called a telephone. And right now would be a great time to call people you haven't seen in years and say, hey, I'm just curious, man, are you saved? And talk to them about the gospel, because a lot of people are thinking about that now. And that's something that I'm finding in emails. A lot of people are talking about how more and more people are asking questions about the end of the world and how this is very close. If you want to put those on there, you can.
No way, that's too hot.
It's too hot? Okay. Let me rake it out then. I rake too much in. But now's as good a time as any to witness to people. And so something to think about, something that you might want to do. Definitely is an odd thing what we're going through, having to go through this coronavirus. So let's see, you have anything else you want to say, honey? It's fun to have a bonfire. It's just so hot. And the bugs are killing us.
Yeah,
So
some of us, others of us.
for some reason, the bugs leave me alone. And in case you don't know, one of the best things you can do for immunity is garlic. And one thing we like to do is take a piece of bread and toast it, chop up little pieces of garlic, put that on top with some butter. And you eat 2 or 3 pieces of bread like that with garlic, and you start sweating garlic. And bugs hate that. And you begin to eat a lot of garlic and you start sweating that, they won't bother you. Also, getting into the smoke like this, the bugs will stay away, which is nice.
Super hot. Can you put it on?
I'll put it on. You got the, what do you call them?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we thought we'd come out, just give you some thoughts about the coronavirus. I know many people have contacted me and said, Brother Breaker, we're at home and our government does not allow us to leave. So, you know, well, I understand. And we're there too now that Florida has just passed that law that, or just the governor has just passed that we can't leave. We got to stay at home. So we thought we'd come with you and visit with you. I don't know where everyone went, but yeah, it's kind of nice to be out. I hope you have a yard and you can get outside and do things like this. Always have a water hose close. We got the water hose right there in case we need it behind the camera. And let's see. We're seeing a lot of things happening. One thing I wanted to talk about was the global economic collapse. A lot of people are thinking that this is going to bring on a global economic collapse because people are out of work. A lot of people aren't even able to pay their bills. Most people, they can't make it more than a couple weeks. They don't have things saved up and things like that. So if you learn from this virus, learn to have at least 6 months saved up so you can live on your own for 6 months if you have to. That's a great way to live if you can get there. But what does the Bible say? Well, the Bible talks about a global economic collapse, if you will, a reset, because when the Antichrist comes, well, they'll do away with cash. And it'll be a cashless society, and the Antichrist won't want people to have cash. So could this be a start of that? Some people are asking, and it's a possibility. I noticed some of the people that email me from Europe have told me the same thing, is they go to stores to buy, and you can usually get out of your house once or twice a week and go to the store and buy some groceries and stuff, and they say they won't take cash anymore. Many places that they go, they say, no, we won't want cash. We won't take it. And the excuse is, well, there could be coronavirus on your bill. So that's their excuse. So some people think this is an excuse to do away with cash and make us move even closer to the mark of the beast. And you know what I believe? I believe what the Bible says. I don't believe that a Christian can ever take the mark of the beast. I believe the tribulation starts after the rapture, and that we that are saved, we won't even have a chance to take the mark. But it's interesting that we're seeing it in our day, and seeing how things like this affect the global economy and are pushing people closer and closer to this. So boy, that's going to have a good smoky flavor, isn't it? Put a couple underneath there if you want. But that smoke is going to be good. That one's burning right there. So that's something about this. But whenever something happens in the world, I always ask the question, who prospers? And another thing about the coronavirus.
Bill Gates, right? Bill Gates prospers.
Yeah, you heard it from her. But because he had the patent on the vaccine or whatever to this. Isn't that interesting? And a couple months before, he did a drill about something like this happening. Isn't that interesting? Bill Gates.
The patent on the virus?
Yeah, I think he had a patent on the virus, yeah. So it's quite interesting, but where was I going with that? What was I about to say? Oh yeah, a lot of people have called this the 9/11, the slow 9/11. You saw 9/11 and it happened, and we lost a lot of our rights, and it's kind of sad, but it happened, pretty quick. This is what I call the frog in a pot. If this is the New World Order's way of, bringing in the New World Order or whatever, taking away our rights, getting a cashless society and all this, this is the slow motion 9/11. In which they're doing it by increments and slowly, and getting people used to, giving up your rights. Because, you should have the right to freely assemble and freedom of speech and go wherever you want. I mean, these are all constitutional Bill of Rights, the freedom to travel. And these are all taken away because of this virus. And a lot of people say, well, you got to understand, you could get killed. I understand. But regardless of the understanding that you want me to understand, it are taking away our rights. So that's the thing to think about. Will we get our rights back? Or will this be what many call the new normal? Oh, it's just normal that you have to, every summer, stay in your house for 3 months because it's the coronavirus season, just like they say it's the flu season and things like that. That dog won't hunt. The world won't put up with that long. They're putting up with it now with their teeth gritted. Oh, okay, but I can already see a lot of people are getting upset. Hey, we want to go back to work. We want to get, out of our houses. We want just get off our backs, And it's interesting, they won't place blame where blame is due. Who's the one that's behind all this? China. It's China. Good old China. So let me get a plate here. Okay. That front one is done. We'll get the other ones. So these are what? They got broccoli stuffed in them or something? Well, we wish you were here, so this will be yours, whoever you are watching. Wish you were here and you could have one of these with us. Real nice bratwurst. And I think that one's done, but it's hot.
I think they're all done.
Hell, these two here are lacking. So one of these days I want to get out here and make Hoppin' John's, which is a Civil War dish. We did that one time with some friends of ours, and that was a lot of fun. Rice, carrots, black-eyed peas, celery, and you cook that up and it makes it really good. So maybe one day we'll get out here when the sun's still up. The sun's going down right now, so I can only imagine this probably won't be a very good video because the sun's not up. But we just wanted you to know we're thinking about you, we're praying for you. You hear on the news all the time, we're all in this together. I hate that saying, but I guess it's true. We are all in this together, having to be locked down in our homes, waiting for this virus, which is weird. Can you see the virus, Laura? I can't see it. Isn't it weird that they make us afraid of something that we can't see? It's always, oh, I can't see it, you know. But anyway, I'm tired. Ready to eat, ready to get ready for bed. Keep us in prayer. This was our April Fool's video. I mean, April's 1st. But this was our bonfire with the breakers. I hope it's been a blessing. And just know it's going to be over soon. Whether that's the rapture for the believers or the New World Order takeover where they kill everybody. Oh, have you noticed this one too, Laura? Did you see this in the New York Times? They said Christians are to blame. It's the Christians' fault for the coronavirus. Really? Oh, okay. The good old scapegoat. The Christians did it. Okay. Did you put out the corona? I didn't put out the coronavirus. I don't know. It wasn't me. I don't know why they say these things. You got some more plates? But it's interesting. It's quite interesting. So I guess we'll end it there. I was going to eat one with you, but
Kind of hot.
yeah, they're kind of hot. All right. Thank y'all for watching. And once again, there's yours. All right. God bless. Bye. Stay cool.